What is up, you guys? Welcome back to another video. My name is Chris, as always with me,
Liam.
And today we are discussing the season finale of Daredevil Born Again. Man, has this season been a roller coaster. You guys have been on the ride with us. If you're just tuning in, go ahead and subscribe, hit your notification bell so you never miss a single episode. If you are just tuning in for the first time, this whole show is more of a discussion on TV shows that we really enjoy and you enjoy as well. And really appreciate all of you. We just hit 30,000 subscribers, and that's because you guys tune in, comment, and have a conversation with us about cool, awesome videos. So without further ado, if you're not already a member of our Patreon and you want some cool behind the scenes stuff, shout outs on video, stuff like that, link's down in the description. But other than that, let's dive right in to the season finale of what may have been one of our most controversial Marvel seasons we've ever watched. What'd you think?
I was just going to ask you, do you think that they saved the season from just this one episode?
Well, we've talked about this in depth, so I don't want to, beat a dead horse too greatly, but I don't know if having the new creative team only shoot 3 of these 9 episodes was the answer. Because you gave us majority of the episodes still from the old creative team, and they were not good. Like, there was a lot of wasted airtime, a huge wasted villain, a lot of drag me through the mud to get me somewhere, and it just wasn't necessarily enough. And then the way that they kind of used the Punisher as like this big beacon in all of the hype, and then he had 15 minutes total in a whole 9 episode season. I thought that was a real shitty way to bait and switch us. And so I have a lot of negative feelings towards this right now. But at the same time, I think just to go on the other side of that, Charlie Cox showing up as Daredevil again, killed the role, absolutely nailed it. Vincent D'Onofrio as Kingpin and now Mayor Kingpin. I've really enjoyed watching him play out that role. John Bernthal coming back as a Punisher. I liked him in episode 4 way more than I liked him in the finale, but still, he's probably one of the best Punishers that we have seen. And so, that part to me is exciting. And the fact that we have that creative team only working, we have the Netflix teams working on the Disney show again, right, to move forward. And so that's exciting to me because they know what they're doing. But was it enough to save this season? I don't think so.
No. Okay. I really enjoyed this last episode, especially once Punisher and Daredevil met up again. First thing I did was pause the TV, see how much time was left. Very first thing I did, I was like, all right, they can do a lot in 40 minutes. Let's do it. Yeah. And so I got excited to see that part. And then again, towards the end, when he came back after essentially being like, oh, I fulfilled my job, I don't have to help y'all no more type thing, right? When he came back after that, I was like, ooh, 15 minutes. We can do a lot in 15 minutes. But the fight scene in the apartment was sick.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was a lot of fun.
I think that bringing Punisher into that was great. Using the Karen Page connection, the love triangle to have them actually work together, even though they are polar opposites when it comes to their philosophies on how to deal with crime. John's just kill everybody, or I should say Frank, not the real man John, but Frank Castle is just kind of the kill everybody, get them out of the way, dispose of it, punish them, if you will, where Daredevil doesn't want to kill anybody. So that, the banter between them definitely was fun. Like an old married couple, just talking to each other. The connection with the Foggy thing, bringing all of that back together and then having it be the kind of the way they're setting up the team now.
I'm pissed.
Yeah, there's a lot that I didn't enjoy.
I was hoping that whole theory of Foggy's death just being faked was real.
Yeah.
I was truly hoping Foggy wasn't going to be dead. And I feel like this episode kind of just ruined all that for me. So it's like Foggy died all over again for me.
Yeah, I never thought he was alive. There was definitely a theory, and I would have probably enjoyed to see that kind of twist come. But when you listen to his heart fade out and you see him die on camera, that's pretty final.
I wonder if that was the original plan with the original writers.
Well,
the ones that did most of the ones at the beginning.
I don't know. Because the new creative team is the one who did the episode where Foggy gets shot.
That was the very first episode.
Yeah, they redid that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, when they came back, they redid episode 1, and then they did episodes 8 and 9.
What I'm hearing is there's a chance.
But you never know, right? You never know. In Marvel, people come back from dead all the freaking time, so you never know. Especially with the multiverse, he could be another multiverse version of him or whatever it is, right? So there's a variance.
Oh, please don't be lazy like that.
Yeah, that's where they went in phase, whatever it is now.
Yeah,
It's everything's lazy, but the fight scenes, the acting, that's what makes this worth watching. It is. Like the fight scenes and the acting, like make it worth watching. The story was fucking garbage. Wasted a villain. Having Heather Glenn in this just pissed me off. Like she was probably one of the most worthless girlfriends he's ever had, and now she's full team Kingpin. The commissioner getting his head crushed, like that kind of iconic Kingpin style like scene was good to see him stepping fully into villain again and not being afraid to show people like, I am this mountain, like I am power, like I am the immovable object, I am force. That's Kingpin, right? And so to see him in like that full almost comic book glory again, that was a cool iconic thing to see. Not necessarily the B budget head crush, but whatever.
I saw that and I was like, ooh, they're pushing their boundaries.
For Marvel, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. That was gory for Marvel.
That was interesting to me. But the whole, was it that head of staff chick? The one that turns
Sheila.
on the commissioner?
Sheila, yeah.
I knew it was coming. And
Self-preservation, man. We were just talking about it with the other episode we were watching.
Handmaid's Tale.
Yep.
I knew it was coming, but it still pissed me off just the same.
You can tell just how emotional and like she's going against her better judgment to keep herself alive. Is really because at this point, not only is Fisk back to like being full Kingpin, he's got Buck, Daniel, and others basically out there doing his dirty work too. You got Daniel and Buck bringing the entire council in line. I thought that was kind of interesting how like they pulled up the dirt on him. Like, just like any other freaking Congress person we would know today. It's like, hey, remember that insider training you were doing? Yeah, we got all that. Remember those shell accounts and those offshore accounts that you have in the Caribbean? Yeah, good job with that investment you did. We know all about it. And so they have to come in line now. And we predicted that very early on, that he was going to basically like manipulate and become the puppet master of all these officials. And now we know for a fact he is. He was able to shut down the entire freaking city. Crazy shit happening. With that part, I think that part is the best part of what's happening and also set us up really well for season 2. But man, I had to watch 5 episodes of stuff that just wasn't even useful for this. Yeah. Let us know what you guys think.
Daniel's the kid, right?
He's the one he's like the Fisk wannabe, right? He's like,
the kid.
Yeah. He's James Gandolfini's son.
Is he?
Yeah, from Sopranos.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yep.
But this episode was the first time I saw him waver when he realized what they're doing.
Really? When did you notice that? I didn't see that.
So when he is with that Sheila chick. Is that what?
Sheila's the head of staff.
Yeah.
Yep.
When he's with her and they're going all of the different mashups in the background, like this is happening. And it just shows them just deep in like what looks like remorse for what is going on. That's what I took away from that scene. And the rest of the episode, to me, was just a call to fucking arms.
Yeah. Well, it's setting up season 2, right? They're establishing their sides.
It was a strong call to arms, though.
Yeah.
That was powerful. Inside that closing scene, though, I want to talk about this so that we don't forget it. Sometimes I think of things that I want to say after we're done recording. I'm like, damn, wish I had that in there. So I'm just doing that right now. So the end scene with all the people in the cages.
Yes.
Did you? I did not. I was looking for it intentionally, but sometimes I'm bad with that stuff. So I'm asking, did you recognize anyone else in those cages that would be on this Avenger-esque type team with Castle and Daredevil?
Well, there is just the Swordmaster. He's the only other vigilante that we knew of that they showed very clearly in the cage.
That's what I was wondering, because there was a lot of people in those cages.
A lot of those are the rich aristocrats. So remember when they were at the party when Daredevil gets shot and he's like, Kingpin's like bringing everybody in that room and basically like threatening them or manipulating them into giving them money and like getting in line basically. A lot of the ways that he got people in line was by, like, if they didn't listen, he would take one of them and put them in the murder dungeon. So like, remember when, I forget exactly who's talking to the older lady, and she was just like, you know, be careful. And she's like all like skittish, and like her husband's not there. And we're like, well, where is your husband? Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Older lady with the short hair. And she's talking, and she's just like, you know, she's like, oh, where's your husband tonight? And she's like, oh, you know, he's predisposed or whatever. He was one of the people that we saw in the murder dungeon, was her husband. I'm trying to remember his name. It's not coming to my mind. Let me know in the comments if you guys can help out.
Yeah, you guys are awesome at that. Thank you.
So either way, that like what I think we were seeing is that anybody who doesn't get in line with Fisk's new order, if they're still valuable enough that he can't just kill them, they go in the murder dungeon, right? And so that's why you have the rich aristocrats and then the vigilantes down there right now, which the only vigilante that's really down there that's like not also a rich aristocrat is Punisher.
All right. So this episode felt long. But again, I enjoyed the fight scenes and those story elements. The partnering backup, the cute little scene when they're in storage, Matt Murdock.
Yep.
And Karen.
Yep.
I had to remember her name. Every time I know it's Karen, but every time I think of just like the meme Karen type stuff. So I second guess myself.
Yeah.
Like, she can't be named Karen after that. I'm just fucking it up in my head somehow.
Karen Page.
Yeah. But that little scene talking about the heartbeats, I thought that was very cute. I thought that was clever and a great addition to this episode. And I'm not sure why, but that section stood out a lot to me.
Yeah.
I know his time's got to be done with Karen, or can they come back?
Seems like it is still there. It seems like there's definitely still an attraction. I think she's just like they tried it already, right? And it didn't work out. And so unless something's different this time, I don't think Karen's going to go for it. Although she is definitely still like attracted to him and loves him.
I still think Matt has time left with the now radicalized psychologist.
I think that's over.
They still need to play out that piece.
She's full Fisk, so she doesn't believe a word he says. Like Matt's trying to talk to her in the hospital, and she's just like, I'll come back when you're arrested. She didn't want to even hear it, right? So like, I don't know. I think that's basically over at this point.
To be fair, she doesn't know all the full history there, so from her lens, he looks kind of psycho. She's
also just going to get even more upset, right? Because as soon as she finds out that he's been lying, that he's been Daredevil all along, she's going to get even more upset.
You think she's just going to stick to the path she chose?
She's going to feel like she can't trust him, right? That he's two different people. Who is he really? There's going to be a lot of, especially from a psychologist who thinks that, like, can think in those ways. I don't think.
And that vigilantes are bad.
Yeah. Already does not like vigilantes, thinks they're childs behind masks.
Which was irony.
Yeah.
For this season.
Well, I mean, as far as I understand it, she's never a major role in Daredevil's life anyway. She's just a girlfriend that he has for a brief period of time. Like, she's never a significant character.
I don't think that seemed to really matter with this season, though.
Yeah.
Right? Because they seem to be... Because I'm not an avid comic reader, but what I've heard was that it's not quite matching up. Like, they're taking a lot of extra steps to explain certain things and giving new life to characters that shouldn't even be around.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's good, right? We've talked about this in the past where a direct comic or direct book adaptation to film, it necessarily doesn't work, especially when you've got things like a comic or a fantasy series that runs for years and years, right? To properly portray every little detail correctly onto the screen is almost impossible. So to take little liberties and kind of spins and make it uniquely for film, I think is the right approach.
I agree also. And I didn't think I would until you were just talking now and I had the realization that's just the uncanny valley put into adapting what's in people's imaginations from reading a book, because everyone creates a character differently. And if you go too close to the character, you're going to piss off half your base because they didn't get that little quirk that the writer originally put in, whether it was intentional or not.
Yeah.
And so it ends up feeling completely off. So close that it's like, it feels almost right, but you fucked up on something and I don't like it, but I don't know why.
Yeah. I think it's interesting because you can read a book or read a whole series of books then go watch a movie based on that book, and you'll do that to yourself. You'll be like, that's not how I pictured that character. So it doesn't feel right to you. It feels off. And then the other way it can happen is that you can read like the first book of a series, go watch the movie, and now every other book you read in that series, you're only ever going to see that actor's face. Like you'll never ever have that picture you create yourself. It'll always be that actor. Regardless of how they're described in the book, it's always going to be that actor's face in your head.
Or the fact that it could alter the memories of how you remember reading the book too. Because
That's a fickle thing.
yes, because that happened in what, Lord of the Rings, right? The whole Sauron thing with the eye part.
The eye doesn't exist in the book. Yeah,
I learned that
it
from
does, but it's not a tower. It's not like a huge looming tower like it is in the series. They made it like a physical representation so that we could see it. We attach ourselves to it.
But now, if you went back and read the books, that's all you're going to see is the tower, even though it's not even a real thing.
Sure. They did a great job with those movies, especially the extended cuts. I don't care how different they are from the books. They did a great job.
That's fine. I've got no hate towards Lord of the Rings at all.
Yeah.
But I just went on that little tangent to solidify what we were just talking about.
Absolutely.
That's all.
Yeah.
And I think that's really cool that you can do that. I will watch season 2. I'll give it a chance.
So I'm going to wait. Here's the thing. They're already shooting season 2. They promised us more Punisher. They promised us they have a Punisher movie coming out, which is, why they gave us so much emphasis on the Punisher at the end of this series. They already promised us Jessica Jones. They already promised us a new team up. We're going to have new vigilantes joining the Defenders. I don't know if we're going to there's no concrete locked in Iron Fist or Luke Cage returning yet. Especially those specific actors coming back as those roles. That's not locked in at all. Only Jessica Jones. I think we get more of Team Daredevil, right? We're seeing we got like 2 cops, or actually several cops, 2 detectives, several cops. We've got Cherry, who's now a private investigator. We'll eventually get Kirsten on board, who's the lawyer, McDuffie. Unfortunately, Heather will find out, but it's not going to work out in Matt's favor. I think Karen Page ends up coming back and starts working directly with them more. So what we're going to see in season 2 is a lot more good characters showing up and actually having like a true story and plot leading into what we're going into. So I do think as long as that happens and we get confirmation between now and when that airs that like that's the direction they're going, I will totally watch it. But if it's just more of the same, then I'll watch episode 1, and if it's more of the same, I'm probably just going to tune it out and be like, I'm done.
Hate when that happens. I really do.
But I'll give it a chance because with the new creative team, the episodes that they did create were worth watching. I do really, like I said a million times, I really enjoy these actors in their roles. And so as long as we can get more of that and a true Daredevil storyline with like actual villains that mean something, let's do it. But don't give me another freaking 4 episodes of Muse where he just dies. Like that was ridiculous.
Yeah, he should at least stayed until the very end.
Yeah, he's a cool villain. And we got nothing.
Yep.
So
that's unfortunate. So I want to know in the comments, if you guys made this far, did you think that they did a good job on this season?
Yeah, let us know down below. Will you be tuning in for season 2? How do you think they did managing these characters? And is the new creative team enough? What do you think of episodes 1, 7, 1, 8, and 9, which was done by the new creative team? Everything else was the old creative team that Foggy fired. So interested to see what you guys think. And what did you think of the Punisher fight scenes? Were they up to Punisher glory and the honor of the traditional Daredevil and Punisher style fights that we loved in Netflix? Did Disney do them honor? Let us know down below. Anything you want to add?
I just thought it's funny how the Punisher was making fun of those Punisher wannabe cops.
Fanboys. Yeah, that was Punisher.
Clowns.
Yeah, they're all clowns. You admire me? Awesome stuff. Let us know down below. Really appreciate you guys making it all the way to the end. My name is Chris.
Liam.
And if you really enjoyed this season of Daredevil, we actually reviewed every single episode. You can check out the entire playlist right here, as well as some other really awesome stuff that we were reviewing. There's an entire playlist right down here. And then YouTube said, based on your browsing history, you'd really enjoy this video we've done. So go check those things out. But no matter what video you choose, make sure you're subscribed, hit that notification bell so you never miss a single episode, and we'll see you on the video. Peace.
Find the strength hiding in each battle scar. You're not who you were, you've already come far.